Have you ever thought about? It's something that's been haunting me recently. Have you ever thought about why the Ninja Turtles wear masks? Like, no one's gonna see them do their thing and then be like, "Who was that guy that was just here?" Like,
They're more focused on why is there a giant turtle with
yeah, I mean, you're
swords?
immediately gonna be like, I'm pretty sure that's that mutant ninja turtles that they got running around here. Why are they wearing masks?
You know, that is a good point.
Why are they all Italian and then their master is Japanese?
Are they Italian?
I mean, their names would say so.
I guess so.
And they love pizza.
It's true.
And when are they going to stop giving Master Splinter that super offensive accent?
Yeah. He lives in the sewer of New York.
And he's a rat.
And he's a rat. He watched a few too many Jackie Chan movies, I think.
I think that Ninja Turtles might have been around before Jackie Chan.
Bruce Lee?
Bruce Lee didn't do a lot of talking. Also, neither one of them were Japanese.
Dude, you know what a great movie is? Airheads.
Jaws.
That's a great movie. What's up, guys? It's Jet. It's A-Train. It's Athletically Declined on ESPN 97.5. Man, we're kind of in rare form tonight.
It's our glue's gone.
And that glue's name?
It's Michael. Mikey, we miss you.
The Mike. We miss you, Mikey.
Things don't run properly without you.
Our
producer Mikey is not here this week.
Is the busiest week of the year for him. So RIP to Mikey's sleep schedule.
Let me ask you something.
Let me answer something.
I got a would you rather.
Ooh.
Would you rather turn into an ant every day at 6 o'clock for 30 minutes? Turn into a little worker ant. You go do whatever you want to do. 30 minutes every day at 6. Or would you rather turn into a turtle 6 times a year at random for 4 hours at a time?
I'm gonna say give me the turtle.
See, I'm of the camp. I'm gonna go with the ant, simply because you can schedule around it. You're like, hey, it's 6. I got something I gotta do, guys. I can't do anything. But if you're randomly 6 times a year for 4 hours, you turn into a turtle. Your wife could be having a baby. Somebody could be dying. You could be driving. Heaven forbid. You turn into a turtle, and then boom, you just got in an accident.
Point. I'm going back to the ant. Yeah. The only thing I'm concerned with the ant is ants are easy. It's very easy to step on an ant.
Yeah, but if you knew every day at 6 you were turning into an ant for 30 minutes, you could plan around that and be like, I'm going to my house where I'm just gonna go isolate in my room. You tell your family, I got 6 to 6:30. Don't come in this room.
It's ant time.
Yeah. Exactly. I feel like that's the more logical way. It would be kind of cool to be a turtle for 4 hours. You know, if you're lucky, sometimes you get turned into a turtle when you're asleep, and then you just sleep through it.
Yeah.
But yeah, the fear of if there's an emergency and someone needs you, and that just happens to be when you turn into a turtle, or driving, or anything like operating heavy machinery. You're on a forklift.
And also, too, you immediately, if you're the ant, you're immediately given the honor of becoming an official member of the Avengers. Because you're Ant-Man.
But you're not. You're like a lamer version. You're a more literal version.
But you still are Ant-Man.
I also wonder if, like, you have to, like, is there a queen that you're like, as soon as you turn into an ant, you're like, I got something I gotta go do.
Yeah. Like the instincts kick in?
Yeah. And could Paul Rudd control you with his ant pheromones?
Ant stinks. No?
No.
All right.
I couldn't tell what you said at first.
And then
I thought you were saying, like, ant stinks, like Anthony Edwards stinks.
Yeah, no.
And I was like, that's a shot that you probably shouldn't take. And then And then I realized that you were just making a terrible dad joke.
Yeah, that's what I was doing.
All right, well, sorry, I took us off the rails there. But yeah, so Mikey, we miss you this week. As you can tell, we're not as organized without you. But also this week, I guess it was technically last week. No, it's this week. We had something happen. The college football playoff bracket
set. Yesterday it was set.
Came out yesterday at about 11:30.
Yep.
It came out, and they had 30 minutes to get all of the media coverage, and then NFL football proceeded to take over the day, and no one talked about it until this morning. So
you want to run through them?
Yeah, but real quick, I feel like if you're the college football playoff, you've been doing it on Tuesday every single year. Yeah. I mean, every single week. Why would you go to a Sunday morning when there's going to be NFL football, like I said, that's going to be stealing your shine right after you announce it? Why would you not wait until Tuesday? That's after Monday Night Football. You'll have Tuesday, Wednesday, and then most of Thursday. Sometimes those Thursday games are stinkers for NFL. Yeah. So you could have Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I mean, you would have almost a whole week of people. That's all they talked about because the NFL week is over.
Yeah, I think, it's got to have something to do with scheduling, right? Like for the teams. I mean,
I don't know if is 2 days going to make that big of a difference.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe the networks need to know so they can start working on whatever they do, maybe from like graphics to video.
But I feel like you already have the promotional stuff ready. You just have to plug and play with the teams.
I mean, you would think, but also we don't do it for a living. So that's the one thing I would say is maybe that's what they're doing. Because, I mean, think about like the film that, a network might need to go through to make some of these videos a little more personalized. I mean, that could take some time.
I guess, but I feel like
just take shots in the dark here, Al. All right.
Yeah, you know that there's 13, maybe 14 teams that could make the 12-team playoff.
Right.
I mean, after Alabama was the only real question. We didn't know if Alabama was going to be in or out. That's really the only team that people were like, I could see an argument. I didn't really hear anybody saying Miami was going to get in, and they were the second team out. So I don't see – I mean, so 13, maybe 14 sometimes.
Because Miami lost to Illinois, right?
Yeah. No, yes.
No, Syracuse.
Kyle McCord. But the teams, so you could go ahead and pull the clips and just have the clips ready to plug and play for those teams. But once again, like you said, we don't do this for a living.
Yeah, I mean, and again, when you get into network scheduling and stuff, just a little bit that I know, just some friends through connections that I've heard of, dude, there's so many layers to that. Like we're talking from sponsors to like we're talking about the media side of graphics, design, video, but then like scheduling, think about this, scheduling people out. Like, I mean, that could be another, anyway, that's not a rabbit hole that I want to get down on this episode. But let's run through where we're at with it. Because, you talked about Miami being second team out. I really wish that they didn't lose that game to Syracuse because, man, I'm such a big Cam Ward fan. I would have loved to see them in the playoff. But I am glad Alabama's not in because I do not feel like they deserve it, nor do I feel like that Georgia really deserves it, but here they are.
They won the championship.
I know they did. But so we've got number 12 Clemson playing number 5 Texas. We have Arizona State on a bye. We have Tennessee, number 9, and number 8 Ohio State playing each other. Oregon's on a bye. Number 11 SMU playing number
Go Ducks.
6 Penn State. Boise's on a bye. Number 10 Indiana versus number 7 Notre Dame. And then them dogs are on a bye. So what do you think? I mean, obviously you're happy. Dylan Gabriel got that thing done.
Not too happy.
No.
We'll put it here maybe if we have the ability. We'll put the bracket here. my gripe is the bottom half of that bracket is much easier than the top half. And I feel like Oregon has one of the toughest roads. I mean, anybody on that side is going to have a tougher road than the bottom half. That top half is stacked with all of the good teams. I mean,
you think?
To be fair, none of those teams are bad. I mean, they're in the college playoff for a reason. But I feel like the better teams are in the top half of that.
I mean, I think Texas gets a pretty easy first game playing Clemson.
I mean, SMU, they took down SMU. Anything could happen. We've seen flashes of Clemson this year where they look great, and we've seen flashes where they look terrible. And that's the thing with college football. I mean, any week, anything could happen. Look at Alabama. They're not in because they lost to Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Who would have seen that coming? Oklahoma was a dumpster fire this year, and they beat Alabama, took them out of the playoffs.
Well, same thing with what we were just talking about with Miami. Like Cam Ward, Miami. Like Cam Ward was at a certain point thought that he was going to start to rival Travis Hunter and Genty for the Heisman, and that team was looking like they were going to contend for a national championship early on, and then they've run into Syracuse. One thing that I will say about the Clemson Texas thing, and shout out Travis Duke, hook 'em. It's going to depend on, for me, like who's quarterbacking Texas, because if Quinn Ewers is quarterbacking that game, I don't really know what they're going to look like. But if Arch is going to be the one back there, okay, I think they actually have a shot to maybe make it farther than without him playing quarterback.
See, the only thing I would say about that is we've seen Arch have a full game this season. He didn't look great. I mean, he looked very average. That offense was no better than it was with Quinn. So he's had sparks when he's come in and filled in when Quinn got hurt for a half
right,
or a few series. They've got packages for him now, which I really like. But the one game that he started and played the entire game, I mean, he wasn't that impressive. And I understand it's his first college start.
Yeah.
You've got some butterflies, you get that out. And I think he's gotten enough playing time now to where he'll be better. But he's just such a big unknown.
Yeah, but is the thought of his unknown and potential of him of maturing and progressing versus what we have seen Quinn Ewers not be able to do, which is finish a freaking game that means something. Like it seems like that with Ewers this year, it's just like scraping by. Like when it's like tough teams. I mean, we've seen it over and over. It's like even with against Georgia, like it's like Texas just didn't. They did everything to just give that game away. They gave that game away. Georgia did not want to win that game.
Yeah, and we don't. Speaking of Georgia, we don't know who's going to be playing quarterback for them.
That's true.
I saw him on the sidelines whenever they were talking to him, and you see him point to his elbow, and he mouthed, "It's bad." So we don't know what kind of injury he's got there. Does he have any kind of ligament damage? Is it something he's going to be able to play through?
And this is a guy too in Carson Beck who is supposed to be, on most people, not really mine, a first-round quarterback. Like he's got the draft, like his career coming up.
Mm-hmm.
And you're talking about an injury, like it could go both ways. Like if he plays through it, maybe it's not looked at as being as bad. Obviously, you got to go through, a physical, but, and then if he doesn't, his stock drops immediately because, he's hurt. I mean, same thing with Jordan Travis. We saw last year. Jordan Travis gets hurt.
Jordan Travis is a different scenario. I would look at it more like Michael Penix.
Yeah, that's fair.
To where, I mean, he got hurt, but yeah, I mean, he's still going to go where he's going to go. I think people like the physical attributes of Carson Beck.
How do you feel about him?
I'm not a big fan of his. I mean, everybody tried to kill him for that whole "I don't watch football" thing. If you watch the clip, it's a lot more than that. He's not saying he doesn't like football.
Yeah, that
was he can't watch football and relax because he tries to read defenses and see what playoffs.
He watches tape.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat there. I didn't like that. I thought that was unfair.
Yeah, but at the same time, I mean, I'm just from what I've seen of him this year, he hasn't been impressive.
No.
Last year he looked good. He did look good, and I feel like he's regressed a lot this year. Maybe it's all the hype going around him. But yeah, I mean, and I was surprised that they put in Gunner.
Love Gunner.
Gunner he got blown up on that second.
Yeah, he did.
And then he got back up and tried to get in there, but they were like, "You're definitely concussed. So
Yeah.
please go to the sidelines." But I was hoping for Rashad to come in, and I mean, he was the quarterback that had all the drama around him that was supposed to go to Florida for $12 million, and then Florida said, "We're not paying you," and he said, "All right, well, I'm leaving."
Yeah.
So he just bounced and went to Georgia, and he was a top 5 quarterback in his class. He's a dual threat guy, and so I thought they would put him in, but I guess Gunner's kind of got that spot on lock right now.
Yeah, and for me, I think Carson Beck's the most overhyped quarterback in this draft class. Personally, I think that this year, opposed to last year, I think there's some discipline issues with like he looks sloppy in the pocket personally, and I think I'm concerned with him personally about the game speeding up, because it just seems like his decision making under pressure is not good, dude. I mean, what is it? Trying to think, was it against Alabama? He threw like 4 picks.
It's something like that, yeah.
Like, and again, it's not the same Alabama defense that we're used to seeing. So, I mean, I feel like that a lot of teams have elevated their entire program, offense and defense for the most part. You know, it's kind of, but that's a different story. I don't know, man. When I look at Beck and it's like, you're telling me this kid's like a first round quarterback and he's in the same category as Shedeur Sanders, Cam Ward, Curtis Rourke, like Quinn Ewers, for those who like would care about that. But no, like I'm just not there. Like I'm like so not there. I'll go as far as to say I feel like the ceiling for Jackson Dart is higher than Carson Beck.
I would say that too. I'm a big fan
I'm a big fan of
Dart.
I think Dart's going to be a sleeper in this draft as well. I don't know like what it'll exactly look like, but yeah, I
was also a big fan of what was the last Ole Miss quarterback?
It's
kind of a thug.
Yeah. Dadgummit. Yeah, I know.
I loved him. White boy with some swag.
Yeah, I can't remember his name, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
I was hoping that he would get it. He got a few shots in the NFL. He was a backup for a while, but
he went to Carolina. Carolina.
Yeah.
I can't think of his name right now. It'll come to me.
I was also a big fan of Trace McSorley, though.
Yeah, Trace McSorley.
So let me ask you, what is your favorite matchup in this bracket? In the first round. We'll say first round.
Honestly, dude, I love Indiana versus Notre Dame.
That is going to be Indiana is going to love them some Indiana football. Both teams from Indiana playing there. I think they have the highest average ticket price right now, that matchup. And there's two teams. I mean, I love Curt Cignetti. I like what he stands for. I like what he does. He talks his trash. And then I know that they lost to Ohio State and everyone's picking on him for that, but he didn't back down. He didn't change who he was. And I'm rooting for Indiana. I was hoping that they would get in there. I'm happy that they did. But I think that's going to be a good matchup. I really do.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good test too for Rourke, man. I have become a massive Curtis Rourke fan. Like I just started doing. I know we talked about this. We got Drafting Greatness, our draft series coming up. So I just started doing my first big board this week. And dude, I started watching the Curtis Rourke tape. Bro,
his brother is a Canadian All-Star.
Really?
Yes. He was also a quarterback, and I want to say he had some sweet nickname.
Really?
It was like the Canadian Kid or something.
Bro, we love a sweet nickname around here in AD.
Was it Curtis Rourke?
Yeah. With a K. But dude, Curtis Rourke, he's got like, this is one of my like favorite things to see in a young quarterback its ability to sense pressure without directly looking. You know what I'm saying? Like if you watch him in games, like the dude moves in the pocket really well, like being like this early, and not from a school that's obviously like recognized as a quarterback producing college. I couldn't tell you the last like quarterback touted, I mean NFL touted quarterback coming out of Indiana. I don't know if they've even had one.
No, I mean Kurt changed that program. Also his brother's name is Nathan Rourke, and his nickname was Kid Canada. He set the single season Canadian Football League record for completion percentage during the 2022 Canadian Football
That's
League
pretty
season.
dope.
Also, you would know him. He did have a cup of tea in the NFL. You would know him from NFL preseason. Jacksonville Jaguars. Do you remember there was a play where there was a quarterback that scrambled around, and as he was getting hit and drugged down, and he launches a dart into the end zone?
Yes.
Yes, that was his brother.
Oh,
And that was one of the coolest plays I've ever seen, because he was falling down, getting tackled.
Did he wear number 4?
Something like that.
Yeah. Okay. Because I remember that now.
But yeah, it was a good time. But yeah, he played for the Jaguars, the Patriots, Giants, Falcons. So he had a little bit.
But just to kind of put a button on Rourke, like, and the kid's got a cannon. Like obviously his brother's got one, and the apple doesn't fall far from the tree with Rourke. I mean, Curtis is he's slanging that thing, dog. And the thing that is awesome is like his ability to throw the ball on the run with power. Like, dude, I cannot wait to see him just chunk bombs all over Notre Dame.
Oh yeah.
Because I don't know, man. I think they're the better football team. I don't think that Notre Dame's defensive backs are good enough to be able to stop Curtis Rourke.
My only fear is the one game he played against a major opponent. He completed 8 passes, and it was like 85 yards.
Which team was
Ohio
that?
State.
Ohio State. Yeah, but you could make the argument that we're not just talking about just a good team. We're talking about like a top 5 upper echelon like program.
Right, but my thing is I like to see you elevate your game when you play those people.
Sure. That's fair.
I mean, that could still happen. For me, the matchup I'm looking at the most is Tennessee and Ohio State.
It's a good one.
Nico, I'm not even going to try to say his last name, Iamalava or something.
Mm.
He is a dog, and he is a freshman. He's only going to grow. I like that Tennessee team. They're physical. They're your typical SEC team.
Yeah.
And then you've got Ohio State, who I think Ryan Day is coaching for his job right now. If he gets bounced first round, I think he's out. Borderline second round. If he goes second round and loses, he may still be out. But Ohio State, they've got all the talent in the world. They've got, what they spent so much money on that roster, which is weird to say about college football.
Yeah.
But they spent so much money on that roster. They have so much talent, and to underachieve like they have is insane. Losing to Michigan is unacceptable. I think he's only beaten Michigan his first season. This was supposed to be a year to get the monkey off his back, and he blew it again. But that is going to be an interesting game to me, just because I want to see what happens when a team, because a lot of people say that the SEC can't go north.
Right.
It gets too cold. They can't play in that cold, and they're going to be playing in Ohio State. So I'm interested to see how that's going to work out.
But it gets cold in Tennessee.
That's my thing as well. But usually they're not play. So I heard they were talking about it today. Even cold weather teams like Ohio State and Michigan and all them, they don't play this time of year usually.
Yeah.
When they are playing this time of year, it's in domes and stuff for
bowl
games and stuff. They're not playing at home.
Yeah.
In January. So it's going to be interesting to see both those teams. That air gets cold, that wind starts whipping harder than it has all season. There's a lot of ways for a lot of mistakes.
A lot of
to be had.
variables.
Yeah, and I think special teams is going to be the thing that's going to make or break either one of those teams. Because, like I said, you got trying to catch punts in the air and with the wind, kicking field goals. Long snappers can't get a good grip on the ball because it's too cold. Holders can't grab the ball right.
Quarterbacks,
yeah,
keeping themselves warm.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see a game in January at Ohio State and how that looks, because we've never seen it.
So let's do something here. Let's go through. I'll go first, and you give me yours next. Let's predict how we think that this bracket's going to play out all the way down to the championship. All right.
Okay.
So I'm going to predict that we're going to end up seeing Texas versus Arizona State, Tennessee with the upset playing Oregon, SMU with the upset playing Boise, Indiana with the upset playing Georgia.
So I agree. Texas, Arizona State, Tennessee, Oregon. I think Penn State will take care of SMU. James Franklin is another guy that is borderline.
James Franklin.
So do I, but I think he is also borderline coaching for his job.
Yeah, I agree.
He's fallen short too many times in big games.
Yeah.
So, but I like Penn State in that one. So give me Penn State, Boise State, and I used to hate Notre Dame just because of Brian Kelly.
Right.
I kind of like them now. I like their new coach. But I'm gonna go Indiana, Georgia.
Okay, so then Arizona and Texas. Man, I'm gonna say Arizona to beat Texas. I like this team, dude. I really do, and I think that they can run the ball. And what did we see Georgia's biggest weapon during that Texas game was Texas could not stop ETN. So I think because of that, we're going to see Arizona State pick up the win and move on. I think Oregon's going to easily handle Tennessee. I just think Oregon is just kind of light years above a lot of this competition. Then the interesting one, man, for me, you picked Penn State, I picked SMU. I think doesn't matter which one, I do not see anyone stopping Genty. And I think Boise wins that game. And it doesn't matter to me who they're playing. And then Georgia versus Indiana. I have Indiana beating Georgia. But here's my reason. Because if you go back and look, if Texas could just actually complete, like make some third down conversions and like in the air, like they win that game. And with Curtis Rourke, again, we're going to see him under the bright lights and see what that looks like. And if they make it to this next round and you come off of that win beating number 7 Notre Dame, I just think momentum's going to carry you at that point. And I can look at a quarterback on a team like this and I can put my faith in knowing that guy's going to be nails. You can't say that about Georgia's quarterback situation right now.
Okay, so I'll go reverse order. I've got Georgia beating Indiana simply because I don't think Georgia would even need to throw the ball. I think that's offensive line, Indiana's a good football team, but they do not have the size that Georgia has.
That's fair.
And I think that they would just run the ball down their throat like Ohio State did. The next game, Boise State, Penn State for me. Once again, kind of a similar thing. I don't think that Boise State has seen a defensive line like Penn State's. Penn State's got some massive guys on the D line.
Yeah, they got a few guys going to get drafted first, second round.
But at the same time, nothing stopped Genty this year.
No.
I think his lowest total was like 129 yards or something.
And he's going to break that record. Like his goal is going to be and to do that, you have to surpass 102 yards.
Yeah. But I'm gonna go Penn State there.
Okay.
To beat Boise State. It'll probably be a close one, but I just think that defensive line is gonna be too much for Genty to overcome. Tennessee, Oregon. I'm going to go Oregon. I think Oregon used to be
Go Ducks.
Oregon used to be Speed University. They are now a Big Ten school as well. And what I mean by that is the makeup of their team. They are large as well.
Mm-hmm.
They have that O-line and D-line is large. So they still have their speed and they've got size now.
And that wide receiver room is so much
Stewart's
better.
A dog.
Dude, Evan Stewart is an animal, and they could have two wide receivers go in the first 2 rounds. Like, but they're not even getting like the recognition that they should be, because I mean, this is now going to be the second year where you're going to have like, a top 3 round wide receiver pick coming out. Like, it's pretty dang good, bro.
Yeah. And then the last game, Arizona State, Texas. I'm also going to go Arizona State. Scatterbo is one of my favorite running backs in college right now. He's got a massive head and he is a pinball. He does not go down. He reminds me of prime Marshawn Lynch, where if you get your arms around him, it's not going to matter. He's going to break through and he's going to just keep.
Well, that was frustrating.
And we're back from our technical difficulties. To summarize my point up at the end, I've got Oregon over Arizona State.
Oregon.
So who do you have in your national championship?
So I think that at this point, like, you're kind of seeing the trend here, right? I don't think there is a team in all of college football that can offensively hang with the firepower that you run into when you play Oregon. It's just, that's what you should take out of this entire talk, in my opinion. And you had a great team with Bo Nix that was good, that you thought was like probably, I mean, as an Oregon fan, Al, like, you tell me, did you think that that was going to be the peak of Oregon's offense for a while with Bo Nix?
No, I didn't. I was biased. I mean, I am an Oregon fan, but I did not like Bo Nix. I hated him since he was at Auburn, and he always failed to show up in the big games. And he showed. I just knew he was going to let me down every time the game was online. His senior year in Oregon, he did ball out. He did play, toe to toe with Michael Penix every time they played, but they lost both those games. But Oregon always just retools.
Quick too.
Yeah, it's the next year.
But Dillon Gabriel also had a lot of hype coming, like when he signed or transferred out of
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma, yeah, I was gonna say it wasn't Arkansas.
Yeah, but I mean, I was skeptical just because him at Oklahoma, he was all right, but he wasn't anything crazy.
But it wasn't a Lincoln Riley Oklahoma, let's be honest.
Yeah, that's true. It was a different Oklahoma. It wasn't the high-flying Oklahoma offense that we're used to seeing.
No.
But he has played great this year.
Top 3 Heisman candidate.
Yeah.
Got an invite.
Yeah. So
and that's another thing that I'd like to kind of put out there. We're not going to get into like the whole Heisman argument, but he's playing for something.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, let's just be honest. Dillon Gabriel comes out here, absolutely annihilates the competition, and is solely responsible for like the offensive explosion that could happen. You could see that race get way tighter than what people think.
Yeah, but I don't know when they stop voting for the Heisman. I don't think they take the postseason into account.
Yeah, I mean,
because it's happened year after year. I mean, you had the whole Vince Young and Reggie Bush thing. You've had multiple of the Heisman finalists battle it out in the postseason, and
that's true. Because don't they give it out like right before the national championship game, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah,
they used to do it a lot earlier.
Yeah,
before bowl season, right?
I think that's when they cut off
voting. Yeah. But even still, you've got something to prove. Like, you could make the argument that him not winning it could be like a reason that he would just absolutely annihilate, just that chip on your shoulder. Because Dillon Gabriel's coming out.
Yeah.
Like he will declare for the draft. And that's another guy who I think there's a few guys in this draft, dude. As you know, like my favorite, like I've kind of talked about, like my favorite thing to do is it's specifically in evaluating the college football talent coming into the draft year is quarterbacks. Dillon Gabriel could be the Bo Nix of this draft. Like that is very much on the table. Somebody who you may look at and go, you know, not a question mark, but just what are you? Like, are you capable? Because not everyone's taught. Like, I haven't really seen any like early projections of Dylan Gabriel as a first round quarterback. Like he's kind of in that Penix area where he could fall to the second round type. I think Dylan Gabriel could be a guy who goes into the combine. Could he's a senior if I'm not mistaken, correct? Could go to the senior the what's it called Senior Bowl and ball out and really start making some noise into the draft. Like, you know, we saw the Spencer Rattler was the guy that did it last year. Somebody who kind of got written off, kind of had a career resurgence with South Carolina, and then really not only surprised but opened some eyes at the Senior Bowl of, man, this is still like that kid that, you know, won the Elite Eight and, you know, we thought was going to be the heir to the throne in Oklahoma. Didn't, obviously, and then, you know, turns it around. I think this could be that. Maybe Dylan Gabriel doesn't go first round. Maybe like which I think he'd benefit from, go second round and is able to, you know, show up as a backup at least on a team. But all that to say, I've got Oregon. I've got Indiana. I like Indiana. I think that game between, I've got them and Boise, obviously, on my bracket is close, but I'm going to rely on a quarterback that I can put all my trust in when two teams are playing each other. And I'm just going to continue to ride like the faith in Curtis Rourke. I believe in that kid so freaking much. I'll give an early teaser. He's inside the top 5 quarterbacks for me for the draft this year, and he ain't 5.
All right. Well, I think
Oregon wins, by the way.
All right. I think Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah, that's like that. Sorry, that reminded me of that part on Bruce.
Yeah, so I've got.
I wear a tutu like a sissy girl.
But I think Dylan Gabriel is probably a third-round quarterback. I do not think he's going to transfer well into the NFL simply because he's not that big. I'm sure he'll have small hands, which, as we know, is a big thing now.
Isn't he 5'11"? I think he's 5'11".
He's right around there. I'm sure they list him at 6'1". We all know what that means. But he's probably around 5'11", 6 foot. I don't think he's got NFL arm strength.
Hit the nail on the head.
Was it
5'11", 201?
If he's listed at 5'11", that means he's 5'9".
He's Bryce Young.
Basically. Don't put a backpack on him. But I don't think he's got the NFL arm strength that you need. Bo Nix is a physical specimen, so it was a little bit different, and he's got a cannon for an arm.
Yeah, he does, dude.
In my championship, you got Georgia, you've got Oregon. As you can tell, I'm going to go Oregon. I think that they have grown as a program. They have large on both sides of the team of the ball, defensive line, offensive line. They are big. They've got first rounders going every single year. One of the best linemen in the league, Penei Sewell, was from Oregon. I mean, it's just they've got a bunch of studs on both sides.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with Oregon in a shootout. I wouldn't even say a shootout. I'd say they beat them by it'd be a 2-score game. But
I just don't like in your scenario. You've got Georgia, and again, like we've talked about, do not trust Georgia's quarterback situation, man.
Their offense is what scares me. They can run the ball, but I mean, if you know they're going to run, then you're just going to load the box and you're going to stop it.
Yeah.
So,
and Oregon can do that.
Yeah. I mean, they've got talent. So that's where I'm at. I'm at Oregon. And I think it's just too much firepower from Oregon.
Yeah.
But I've also seen them lay eggs. So that's not a duck joke. But
one would say sometimes they're not all they're quacked up to be.
That was terrible.
You're welcome.
That was terrible. But yeah, so we're gonna see what happens. It should be a great bowl season, and I don't. Do you consider the playoffs a bowl season?
Yeah, they are. I mean, they're playing them as bowl games.
That's true.
Yeah, you've got once you get in the second round, you've got Peach Bowl, Rose Bowl. What is it? It's not the Tostitos.
Sugar Bowl.
Yeah, it's Sugar Bowl. And then what's the last one?
Fiesta Bowl.
Yeah, it's the Orange Bowl now, right?
It's one of them.
It's one of them. I'll give you the exact ones right here. Pause for dramatic effect. It is Fiesta Bowl, Sugar Bowl, Rose Bowl, and Peach Bowl.
No oranges.
No oranges, not this year.
No oranges. Interesting.
That's a good bowl though.
It is a good bowl.
I do like the Orange Bowl. Played in Florida, hence the name Orange Bowl.
Home of
Mickey Mouse and
Orange
Hurricanes.
State of oranges. Just whole state's full of oranges.
Also, hot take: the best orange juice of all time is Florida's Natural. It's a good juice, man.
The best orange juice of all time is Sunny D, and it's not even orange juice. It's orange
I was
drink.
literally about to say, bro, that don't count.
It's orange drink. It counts.
Would you consider that an orange drink?
High C.
DRANK.
Orange high C.
Dude, an orange high C.
Hadn't seen that in years.
Dude.
I don't even know where you can get that anymore.
Bro, drop in the comments where we can find a nice frosted orange high C.
To get it chilled. I think McDonald's still has the fruit punch high C.
That is an absolute banger.
Underrated.
We need to do like a draft of forgotten drinks. Remember Vault?
Vault and Surge.
Surge? Dude. Yes.
Good quality stuff.
Mountain Dew Code Red. Can't forget.
It's not forgotten. That's still one of the most popular drinks.
I thought that they like bring it back and like
nope,
take it.
It's around 24/7. I would know.
Oh, you
stay stocked.
You stay stocked, dude. Listen to this guy.
I'm a gamer, bro. I'm a real gamer.
Wow.
All right.
You get the Call of Duty codes. That's where you be getting all your credits.
Dude. Bottom of the Code Red bottle caps.
You can find Alex.
Double XP window.
Yeah, you can find Alex next week in Nuketown on ADG Twitch.
Oh yeah.
Enrique Shockwave, aka Uncle Rusty,
aka the independent variable.
It's true. Alex is the scout for our Call of Duty crew when we roll. It's fantastic.
That basically just means that I run away from everyone, just like Frodo in that one meme. Yeah, he's like, I'm going on an adventure. Yeah, that's me. I go and run away from my team and get killed.
It's fantastic.
It's a good time.
Big locker room guy.
I'm there for comedic relief. I'm not there to be good.
Oh, so guys, let us know in the comments below. Who do you have winning the national championship? Let us know who, what is your bracket? How does that unfold for you? And also, what is your favorite forgotten drink? Because we want to know.
We care.
Yeah. And also, another thing. Are you a conspiracy theorist?
Do your research, people.
Do your research. Don't believe everything you hear on the news, including anything that comes out of our mouth.
Exactly.
Or his stomach.
Yeah, that was aggressive. Very aggressive.
I feel like your stomach just cussed at me.
Yeah, it wants some of those forgotten drinks. Yeah,
it does. Man. Also, not a hot take, but I'm sure you do know this because you're somebody who does your research. For all of eternity, as long as McDonald's is in existence, the greatest and most refreshing tasting OG Coke will come from McDonald's because of the way that they send I don't know what you'd call that for the fountain machines. However, that it's like extra. Is it extra carbonation or extra syrup? Whatever it is. Syrup. Yeah. One of my favorite things.
I think the best Cokes are the Mexican Cokes, the bottle Cokes.
Now that I will agree with.
And you know where there's going to be Mexican Cokes? Here on December 30th.
Live!
And why is that?
Because December 30th, we will have a watch-along for the last WWE Raw. That's right, everyone. Here at the Athletically Declined Studio inside of Sold Out, we will have Split Decision in the gang watching the final Raw of the year live here at Houston's own Toyota Center.
Sunday. Actually, I think it might be Monday.
It's Monday, but I love the
Monday.
enthusiasm. Where you'll see the legend, John Cena.
Great theme music.
Dude, all-time great.
And a great guy.
I listen to it once a week. Thank you to my son, who is an avid wrestling song enthusiast. I get a good dose of that, a good dose of the DIY intro music, Cody Rhodes, LA Knight, and we throw in a splash of Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. His LA.
Love me some LA Knight.
Yeah, dude. With the whole crowd saying LA Knight. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gosh, dude. What? Dude, you're going to love this. So shout out 500 Level, who will be sponsoring the watch along. They sent us some shirts, and they have a dope shirt. I thought about you. It is an LA Knight shirt, and it says LA Knight. Let me talk to you.
Love me some LA Knight.
It's a banger, dude. So yeah, y'all want to be present for that. Talk to our boy Ruben, fellow ESPN host of one of the hosts of the
Toro Twins.
Twin Toro podcast. Check them out. Our boy Ruben, newest member of AD, will be here as well. He's also a big wrestling guy. So yeah, we're gonna have the whole crew here, man. It's gonna be freaking sick. So, and you know what? You want something special? Can I give you something special just for you guys? By the time you are watching this, it'll probably already be out. But we got custom specific for this event t-shirts dropping.
Nice.
It's going to be sick, dude.
Limited drop.
Only place you can find them is going to be here at Sold Out. That will be on the website. You can go to Sold Out's website and you can pre-order them bad boys. So yeah, come at us. Yeah.
It's going to be a good time. Yeah.
So, all right, guys. Jet, A-Train, for all of us here at Athletically Declined, we appreciate all of you. Please make sure you drop a like, comment, share, so everybody knows that you love what we're saying. And this has been another great edition of Athletically Declined on ESPN 97.5.